Welcome friends. This video is on BLDC fan. The new arrival in the fan market is BLDC fan, that is brushless DC fan. Its price is almost double. What is the advantage of BLDC fan over conventional induction fan? Should you buy BLDC fan at this high price? Is it worth? Let us go to the video to see all these things. This is our normal induction fan which we are using in our house, office, etc. This fan is in existence for more than 40 to 50 years. You will see a condenser in this induction fan. Let us see what is this condenser for and what is the electrical circuit of induction fan. The induction fan has two coils. One is running coil, another one is starting coil. Starting coil has a condenser in series. Induction motor does not self-start. So to make it self-start, they have added one starting coil so that this motor is becoming a split phase induction motor which will start by itself. This is how the induction motor circuit is there. Okay, what is the disadvantage of induction motor? Disadvantage of induction motor is like this. It consumes more power, that is about 75 watts it consumes. Then speed control is not smooth. You would have noticed at the lower speed position the induction motor fan runs, and if you slightly change the regulator knob, it runs at faster rate. So you are not getting the speed what you want. This is the disadvantage of induction motor. Basically its control is like that. If you keep the fan at a particular position, when there is a voltage fluctuation, that is during midnight, the voltage rises, so the fan runs at very high speed which you don't like. So these things are common to induction motor as its speed is proportional to voltage square. So its speed depends on voltage also. Next is it makes sound. Let us see. That is, when there is no power, we run using UPS. See this UPS, you see the bottom waveform. This is the regular sine wave. So induction motor is designed to operate in this particular regular voltage waveform. Whereas in the UPS output is a quasi square wave. So during power outages, when UPS supplies quasi square wave, the induction motor runs with noise. This is sometimes becoming nuisance. So the disadvantages of induction motor are: one, it consumes more power; second, speed control is not smooth; third, it makes noise, especially during operation with UPS. Now let us see what is the new fan which has come in the market recently. This is called BLDC fan, that is brushless DC fan. So brushless DC motor, we all know what is DC motor. DC motor will definitely have brush. We have seen this in our car starting motor. So brush is really a nuisance. So in this new technology, they have removed the brush So it is called brushless DC motor. You get all the advantages of DC motor, but there is no brush. This is the idea. So this new fan uses BLDC motor. That is why it is called BLDC fan. Now come to the right. You see the stator coils. Stator coils, three set of coils will be there. Middle you see rotor. Rotor is a permanent magnet. So what happens? Left you see, this is the circuit in the BLDC motor stator. This electronic PCB is kept in the stator, stationary position. So what it does is, the logic circuits and position detection circuits operated by a microcontroller switches the power to the three coils sequentially. So when the power is there in first coil, area under that coil gets magnetized. So this rotor gets attracted to that and it goes there. When the power goes to the next coil, similar thing happens. So the rotor starts rotating and going near to the second coil. Then the power shifts to third coil. So similarly, this power keeps on shifting from one coil to another coil and things like that. That is how a rotating magnetic field is generated. This rotor being a permanent magnet stuff, it just gets attracted towards this rotating magnetic field and it rotates. This is how, in a simple language, the working of BLDC fan. Now let us see. BLDC fan consumes less power. When the old induction fan consumes 70 to 75 watts, this consumes only 35 watts. Its weight is less. Advantage is the bearing does not get eroded quickly. It makes less noise. Less noise even when operated in UPS. See, this is a DC motor basically. So when UPS is there, its output is quasi square wave, which is a DC. So there is no problem. This motor will not make any noise. The speed control is very smooth because speed control is based on at what speed the voltage is rotated in the stator coil. This is done by the microcontroller. So whatever speed you set, the microcontroller will adjust and make the fan rotate at that particular speed. Here, motor speed does not depend on voltage. So even in voltage fluctuations, the speed remains the same. Then, greatest advantage for this fan is remote control. There is a remote control. You can operate the fan comfortably with a remote control. Another advantage is this fan has a timer. So you can switch on the fan and switch off the fan after a preset time using the timer. This is a great advantage. So as an example, let us see what is the saving we get from this BLDC fan. Let us see power consumption. It is 75 watts for induction fan and only 35 watts for BLDC fan. Let us assume we use the fan for 16 hours. So energy consumed per day is 16 into 75 watts divided by 1000 equal to 1.2 kilowatt hour, which is 1.2 unit. For BLDC fan, it is 0.56 unit. Let us assume EB bill is 6.5 rupees per unit. It is an assumption. So for this assumption, induction fan takes 7.8 rupees, whereas BLDC fan we spend only 3.7 rupees. So per month if you calculate, it is 234 rupees versus 111 rupees. If you calculate the same for an year, it is 2808 rupees for induction fan and 1332 rupees for BLDC fan. So savings per month per BLDC fan is 123 rupees. So savings per year per BLDC fan is roughly 1500 rupees. So 1500 rupees is the higher price you pay for BLDC fan compared to induction fan. So you got back the excess money in 1 year itself. From next year onwards, it is a saving. Now you imagine you save 1500 rupees per fan per year. So if your house is having about 6 to 10 fans, imagine the saving. Are there any disadvantage for BLDC fan? It is told like this, but let us examine. Higher initial price, almost double, but we have seen in the first year itself you save money which you have paid as higher price. So it is not a big issue. It uses electronics PCB with microcontroller, difficult for local electricians to service. This should not be a problem, because now our service technicians are repairing TV, mobile, etc., which have more complex circuitry. So it should not be a problem for local electricians to service this board. After all, they only change the PCB, they don't change the component. Unlike regular fan, limited operational experience as technology is fairly new. You are right. This fan is fairly new, about 5 years, but the feedback is excellent. We need not worry for the third point. These are all the famous BLDC fan brands in India: Crompton, Ottenberg, Havels. And there are many BLDC fan brands in market. But I do not have experience with those fans, so I have not mentioned that. But there are many companies which are manufacturing BLDC fans in India. So when you buy BLDC fan, you have to look for copper coils, whether they use copper coils or aluminum coils. Fans with aluminum coils are slightly cheaper, but better go for copper coils. Then you have to see fan blade sweep suitable for your room size or hall size. When you are doing a new installation, follow these instructions. That is, it is better to look for an experienced electrician. Fit the fan in the hook provided in ceiling securely. Connect two wires from AC main to the fan terminals as per instruction manual. Power the fan through an on-off switch. Though it is not required, you can power the fan through an on-off switch. Keep the switch in the on position and operate the fan with remote. Timers may be operated as per your requirement. If you are replacing old fan with BLDC fan, just follow these simple steps. So switch off the fan supply, remove existing fan from hook carefully, fit the BLDC band in the hook provided in the ceiling securely. Connect the two wires from AC mains to the fan terminals as per instruction manual. Disconnect and remove the regulator. Regulator is not required for this fan. Remote control is the regulator for this fan, so you don't need a regulator. You can remove the regulator and short the wires. Some electricians may keep the regulator in full speed position and leave it as it is. This is also acceptable. So power the fan through an on-off switch, though it is not compulsory. So now the question is, should you buy BLDC fan at this high price? My answer is a big yes. So we replaced incandescent bulbs with LED and we got enormous power saving. Similarly, for power saving, energy cost saving, it is better that we go for BLDC fan. Thank you. Please watch my videos, subscribe. I am planning to introduce more and more videos with electrical hacks, electrical power saving, etc. Thank you.